Introduction, Setup, and Navigation. Welcome to the PA700 video manual. The Korg PA700 brings together professional sound quality, interactive realistic styles, audio recording and playback, plus completely new, innovative, intuitive features into an affordable instrument designed to help you perform and create music. Before we begin, let's restart the PA700 so we'll both be in the same place from the beginning. Hold down the standby button for a few seconds to turn it off. The screen will dim for a short period, then go completely black. Now turn it back on. It takes 30 seconds or so to start up and load all the necessary data in, like styles, sounds, etc., similar to when you start a computer. In this video manual, we'll cover the main functions of your PA700. There's a lot to cover, so each exercise will be brief, but it should be enough to get you started. We recommend that you watch the chapters in order all the way through the first time, pausing when necessary. Then later, go back to specific chapters. For more detailed information, the PA700 PDF manuals available at Korg.com can help you dig deeper. By the way, as well as the regular PA700, there's also a PA700 Oriental. This video is applicable to both PA700 models. Don't worry if the styles and sounds in your unit are different or organized in different locations than shown in the video. The ones used in this video are for example only. If you're instructed to select a particular style or sound, and either it isn't there or the name is different, select any other and continue to follow along. Okay, let's look at navigating around the interface. These mode buttons access the four basic functions of the PA700: playing styles, playing songs, creating songs, and playing and editing individual sounds. For now, set it to Style Play mode. The touch view screen is the heart of the interface, so first let's adjust the brightness of the display by holding down the menu button and turning the dial. Adjust it to your personal preference. It will retain that setting until you choose to adjust it again. This is the main page of Style Play mode. Each mode has several edit sections that can be selected by pressing Menu. The available edit sections appear on the screen, and you simply touch the one you want, for example, Mixer Tuning. Within each edit section, there are several pages that can be selected using the tabs along the bottom. Go to the Volume Pan page. A parameter can be adjusted in several ways. First, touching the parameter you want to adjust, and using the value dial. Touching then dragging left and right, or up and down to adjust the value, or selecting a parameter twice, which brings up a numeric keypad for you to enter the specific value you want. You will occasionally come across checkboxes that can be selected or deselected by touching the box. Pressing Exit always returns you to the main page of the mode you're in. Touching this triangle in the upper right corner brings down the Page menu, like a drop-down menu on a computer. It will show a variety of options relative to that particular page. You can either touch the one you want, or simply touch anywhere outside of the Page menu to make it disappear. The PA700 is designed so that when you turn it off and on, the status of a few of the panel switches will return to how they were when you turned it off. For example, if autofill was on, then it will be on after you restart. If it was off, then it will be off when you restart. So it will be exactly how you like it set up as soon as you turn it on. For the purposes of this video manual, we need to start with your PA700 set the same as mine. So make sure the following switches are set this way. Autofill should be on, the memory button should be on, and manual bass should be off. Style to keyboard set should be on but not flashing. If necessary, press it repeatedly until it is on but not flashing. This balance knob is used to adjust the balance between the sounds you are playing on the keyboard, these are called the keyboard sets, and the sounds of the accompaniment or song. For now, set this to the middle position. You can connect an optional damper pedal here. There are many different damper pedals available, so it's a good idea to calibrate the PA700 to your particular pedal the first time you use it. Go to Global Mode by pressing the Global button. Touch Controllers. Then touch the Foot tab. Touch Damper Calibration. Press and hold down the pedal, and touch here. Now release the pedal, and touch here. This calibration is automatically saved, and you won't need to do it again until you use a different pedal or foot switch. Press Exit. To avoid wasting power, your PA700 will automatically turn off if you don't play it, press any buttons, or use the touch screen for a period of 2 hours. Please save your data, for example, keyboard sets, styles, songs, etc., that you are working on before taking a prolonged pause. This function can be shut off. We'll look at that in the Global Media and Updates chapter. And finally, your PA700 comes with several demo songs. It's an excellent way to discover the sounds, styles, and capabilities of this amazing instrument. Press Style Play and Song Play simultaneously to enter demo mode. After a few seconds, the first song starts, and we'll play through each of the songs. You can jump to specific songs by selecting from one of these 3 categories: songs, sounds, or styles. Press Exit. Pressing one of the mode buttons exits from demo mode. Press Style Play. Sounds. The high quality and expressive PA700 sounds are the basis of the styles and the keyboard sets. These sounds are also used when creating and playing MIDI sequences. In this chapter, we'll look at the sounds in depth. When the instrument is first turned on, the factory default style is brush ballad, and the keyboard set is already set up with a stereo piano sound across the whole range of the keyboard. To select a different sound, touch the upper 1 area in the upper right corner of the screen, containing the name of the current sound, Concert Grand. Touch any sound on the screen to select the sound you want. 8 sounds are displayed at a time, and you can access more sounds by touching the tabs along the bottom. The sounds are grouped in categories, which can be selected using the tabs on the left and right. Additional sounds can be accessed with the tabs along the top. Legacy accesses sounds from previous Korg PA series instruments. GM-XG accesses the general MIDI and XG sounds. By the way, in some cases there may be more than 4 tabs of sounds in a particular category. If so, these arrow buttons navigate back and forth between the available tabs. Go to the Factory tab. Select Brass category, and touch Big Band Brass 1. With many sounds in the PA700, vibrato is added by pushing the joystick forward. With some sounds, the joystick -Y, pulling the joystick back, will also affect the sound. Go to the Sax category, Tenor Sax DN1. Defined nuance control is the ability to control several nuances of the instruments. In this example, if you press switch 1, then play a note, you get a glissando up to the note. Pressing switch 2, then playing a note, glissandos down to the note. Pressing switch 1 while playing a note adds a fall off the note when the note is released. Switch 1 and 2, the joystick, even how you play the keyboard, for example legato, can add nuances that bring life and realism to the sound. Sounds with this type of control always have DNC, DN1, or DN2 in the name. Go to the Organ category. There are several sampled organ sounds in a variety of different drawbar settings. But the PA700 also features a special drawbar sound that emulates the classic drawbar organ, allowing you to set your own drawbar settings. Select drawbars and use the sliders on the screen to adjust the drawbars. You can save your edited digital drawbar sound into one of the keyboard set library locations. We'll look at that in a moment. There's a rotary speaker effect on this organ, as well as many of the other organ sounds. Pushing the joystick forward changes the speed. No need to hold it. In fact, the PA700 has a huge library of effects like chorus, reverb, etc. that can be used to enhance the keyboard set, accompaniment, and MIDI tracks. Effects will be explained in detail in the Effects chapter. Press Exit. In a keyboard set, you can have up to 3 sounds in the upper range and 1 sound in the lower. Let's combine some sounds. For the upper 1 sound, from the piano category, select Concert Grand. Press Exit. Notice that the screen shows that upper 2 and 3 are muted. Touch here to unmute upper 2. Unmute upper 3. Now press the split button and the 3 upper sounds are above the split point and you now have access to the lower sound. The master split point is set in global mode, but you can temporarily override this. Hold down the split button until this appears on the screen. Now play the note where you want the new split to be. This new split point will be kept until a new keyboard set is selected. The global split point is the same for all keyboard sets, but, if necessary, a specific split point can be saved with each individual keyboard set. When the style is stopped, you'll notice that even if lower is muted, the lower sound will still play, as well as the bass sound from the style. This is called bass and lower backing, and is very useful for playing introductions to songs. However, if you wish, you can disable this function in global. We'll look at this in the Global Media chapter. Let's make some more changes. You can quickly bring all the upper sounds down 1 octave by pressing the upper octave minus button. Let's adjust the level of upper 3. Touch the Volume tab to display and adjust the volumes. Now open the Page menu. We can save the keyboard set we've edited to one of the keyboard set library locations. For now, touch anywhere outside of the Page menu to make it disappear, and let's take a closer look at keyboard sets. It's important to understand the difference between a sound and a keyboard set. Go to Sound mode. Touch the sound name and you'll see all the different sounds grouped together in instrument families. These sounds are used individually or combined together for your keyboard sets like we did earlier. We used a sound from the piano category for upper 1, upper 2 used a sound from the strings category, etc. Go back to Style Play mode. Sometimes your keyboard set might be a layer of 3 sounds on the top plus a sound in the lower, or 2 sounds in the upper, no sound in the lower, or simply 1 sound across the whole keyboard. However you set it up, what sounds you are using, the levels, the split point, panning, effects, etc., it can be saved and recalled from the keyboard set library using these 9 keyboard set library buttons here on the right. These buttons open up a selection of keyboard sets that you can choose from the display. These tabs take you to more groups of 8. You can also repeatedly press the keyboard set library buttons to advance through the tabs. We are on the Factory tab, so these are the keyboard sets supplied by Korg. The User tab is where you can access your keyboard sets. This grayed out tab, Direct, allows you to directly access more keyboard sets saved on your USB media without having to load them into internal memory. Press Exit. Your edited keyboard sets can be saved by pulling down the menu and selecting Write Keyboard Set to Library. Another quick way is to hold down any one of the keyboard set buttons until the right screen appears, choosing the location, naming it if you want, and pressing OK. For now, press Exit. You'll notice it says Set List here because these buttons can be used for a different function when using Set List. This will be covered in the Songbook chapter. Press the My Setting button. This button accesses your most favorite keyboard set and is the first one selected when you turn on the PA700. It's currently a stereo piano across the whole keyboard, but you can set it to be whatever you like to use the most. That might be a layer of electric piano and strings, a split of bass and organ, etc. It's a fast and easy way to jump to your favorite setting while performing. To save your favorite keyboard set or any edits you've done to My Setting, hold down the My Setting button until the right screen appears. Touching OK on the screen would continue the write process and write over the current setting. For now, touch Cancel to keep the original My Setting unchanged. By the way, these 3 switches can be assigned to different functions. Once you find the best use of the switches for your musical needs, save that along with your favorite keyboard set into My Setting. When you turn on the PA700, My Setting is the first keyboard set loaded in, so your switch assignment will always be as you want them. That switch assignment will be kept as you change to another keyboard set because assignable switch lock is on by default. But this can be unlocked in Global, so you can have different switch functions for each keyboard set if you wish. In the next chapter, we'll look at styles, where you'll see that sounds are also used by the different tracks of the style accompaniment. For example, the bass track might use a synth bass sound, another track might use an electric piano sound, etc. So basically, the keyboard sets and style tracks are all accessing the same library of sounds inside your PA700, and there are hundreds of completely editable sounds to choose from, plus the ability to load in your own samples, so the possibilities are endless. Styles. Let's look at selecting and playing styles. Go to Style Play Mode. Each style has 15 style elements: intros, variations, fills, endings, etc. They're used to recreate the parts of songs. Play a chord anywhere on the keyboard with 3 or more notes, and press Start. You use these buttons to select a style element. As intro 1 plays, you can see that variation 1 is flashing, meaning that after the intro, it will go to that variation. Here you can see the countdown of the measures remaining in the intro. As you go from variation 1 to 4, the musical parts naturally build and get busier in the same way a typical song builds. You'll notice that since autofill is on, a fill is automatically played into the selected variation. Of course, you can turn this off so no fill is played. Turn it back on and press Stop. To select a style, touch the style name and touch the style you want. For now, select Modern Ballad. Select Intro 1. Trigger a chord in the lower range with at least 3 notes. Press Start. Intro 1 has a chord progression. Intro 2 doesn't have a chord progression, so you can trigger your own chord progression. Intro 3 is a short intro designed to get into the song quickly. Endings 1, 2, and 3 work the same way. The styles are grouped in categories and can be selected on screen using the tabs on the left and right. The tabs along the bottom take you to more styles in that category. You'll notice this User tab that takes you to styles you've saved into the user bank. As we saw in the Sounds chapter, this grayed out tab, Direct, allows you to directly access more styles saved on your USB media. Factory tab, Pop category, Goodbye Pop. I'm going to use Variation 2. Play a chord in the lower range and press Start. All of the factory styles are set up with lower chord scanning, triggering the chords below the split point. A chord isn't triggered until you play 3 or more notes. You can also choose to turn split off and trigger the chords using full chord scanning, triggering the chords anywhere on the keyboard. Since a chord isn't triggered until you play 3 or more notes, you can play melodies and only trigger new chords when necessary. In Global, you can select other systems of triggering chords, for example, a simplified one-finger method. Go to the Funk and Blues category and select Everybody Bros. Press Exit. As you can see, you can change to another style without stopping. There are several buttons and controls to help you interact with the styles. For example, this accompaniment button that turns the accompaniment on and off, giving you the option to play along with the drums only. Turn accompaniment back on. This memory button controls whether the full accompaniment plays when you release the keys, or only the drums continue. Turn memory back on. Manual bass mutes the accompaniment except for drums and percussion, and allows you to play bass in the lower along with the upper keyboard tracks. Turn off manual bass. You'll notice that the bass will always play the root of the chord you are playing no matter what inversion you play. If you go to the Split tab and turn on bass inversion, the bass will play the lowest note in your chord. Press stop. From the Jazz category, select the style Swing Band and press exit. Each style has 4 keyboard sets saved with it. You can quickly access them by pressing these 4 buttons under the display. From the Keyboard Set tab, you can see the names and touch them directly on the screen. When you select a style and this Style to Keyboard Set button is on, it will automatically select the first keyboard set saved with that style. If the light is flashing, selecting variation 1, 2, 3, or 4 will automatically select the corresponding keyboard set. If it is off, then the current keyboard set is kept even when you change to a new style. Press it again so it is lit, but not flashing. Latin category, Classic Mambo. This time we'll use the tap tempo to start the style. Tapping the button 4 times sets the tempo and starts the style. Chord Sequencer allows you to record a chord progression and have it loop. Press and hold the Chord Sequencer button for a second until it turns solid red. Then during the measure before the start of a chord progression, press the button again. It will start recording the chord progression at the start of the next measure. The button flashes red during the recording. Just before the end of a measure, press the button again. The button is now lit green, showing there is a chord sequence in memory. Press the button and the chord progression starts at the following measure and will loop, freeing up both hands to play the keyboard tracks. If you find that you use this feature a lot, you can assign the chord sequence record function to a switch 3 for example. Then it will always be ready to immediately start recording without having to hold down the chord sequencer button in order to arm it for recording. So then switch 3 would be the record button and the chord sequencer button would be the play button. From the Movie and Show category, Page 1, Mystery Man. Play a chord. Every style includes the settings for these pad buttons. They can have sounds assigned to them, or even additional patterns that follow the chords you play and sync with the style. They can play once when you press it, or loop. World category, Page 4, Classic Schlager. To the left of the Start-Stop button you will find the Synchro Start and Synchro Stop buttons. They control how the accompaniment starts or stops as you play the keyboard. Turn off the Synchro Start and Synchro Stop buttons. The PA700 is very flexible, giving you the power to shape the instruments to your musical needs. For example, drums. You can simply change a style's drum kit from jazz kit to a techno kit, or you can go to a drum within a kit and make changes with the drum editor feature. Like this, Rock category, Page 2, Magic Rock. Don't play a chord, just press Start so only the drums play. Press Menu and touch Track Controls, then the Drum Edit tab. Press the Track Select button so the accompaniment tracks are displayed. Touch Select here to choose the drum track to be edited. Along the top you can see the different drum and percussion families indicated by icons. Choose the snare drum family. Now you can adjust only the snare drum without affecting any of the other instruments in the drum kit. Press stop and exit. In fact, all parts of a style can be completely edited or even created from scratch and saved to the user bank, keeping the factory styles unchanged. Details are in the PDF manual. However, the best way is to use Songbook to customize the styles to your needs and be able to call them up in a logical and efficient way, as you'll see in the Songbook chapter. The PA700 has a powerful feature allowing you to convert standard MIDI files into styles. First, I'll insert a USB stick containing some MIDI files. Press record, touch here, then OK. Currently the internal drive is displayed, so touch here to change it to the USB drive we inserted. Choose the MIDI file, then select, and the conversion starts. Write the style to one of the user locations. Of course, not all MIDI files can be converted to a style, but many can, and it's so fast and easy to find out which ones can be converted successfully. It's a great feature. Song play. Let's go to song play mode. The Korg PA700 has the ability to play several types of song files. Standard MIDI files in general MIDI, XG, and karaoke formats, and even MP3 files. Plus, it is designed so that playing these files is integrated smoothly into your performance in a useful and flexible way. The files are played directly from the internal memory or from media inserted into the USB host port of the PA700. If you want to follow along with this exercise, you'll need a USB flash drive with a MIDI file, a karaoke MIDI file, and one MP3 on it. I already have mine plugged into the USB port in the back. Touch the player area on the screen, and the window opens to select the song you want. Change it to the USB drive we inserted. You can sort the files by different criteria by touching the top of a column. If there are several files, you can use the scroll bar to move up and down, or touch one of the files and use the dial. Touch the file you want to play. Touch Select, then press Play. The song is loading and playing at the same time, so it starts immediately. The PA700 has several tools to interact with the song player. For example, playing along. You can quickly select one of the keyboard sets to use. Some MIDI files have lyrics embedded in them, for example a file with a .kar extension. Let's load a .kar song into the song player and press play. To display the lyrics, press the lyrics button located to the right of the screen. The lyrics follow along. The PA700 can even display lyrics embedded in MP3s. If there are no lyrics, you have the option to have the lyrics in a text file and use a pedal or a switch to advance the pages of text. This is explained in the PDF manual. Pressing the score button displays a standard MIDI file's selected track's musical notation. Press exit and stop. Lyrics can be displayed to an external video monitor using the video out on the back of the PA700. You can choose to mirror the PA700 screen to an external monitor as well. Details are in the PDF manual. MP3 files can be played in song play mode as well. Select the file the same way you would a MIDI file, then press play. Playing an MP3 on the PA700 is very flexible. Of course, you can quickly choose a keyboard set to play along with the MP3, but there's much more. For example, you can transpose the song.
Pick you up and race you to my
or adjust the tempo. Hold down Shift and use the dial to jump to tempo adjust. If there are lyrics embedded, pressing the lyrics button will display them. Press stop. The volume of the lead vocal can be lowered so you can sing over the MP3. You can assign a foot switch or one of the assignable switches to do this. By the way, you can quickly jump to an edit page of a button by holding down the Shift and pressing the button you want to edit. For example, pad assignment. Let's assign switch 3 to vocal remover function. Hold down Shift and press assignable switch 3. Touch here, scroll over, and set it to vocal remover. Press play. This control of an MP3 allows you to take a song, adjust the pitch to a key you can comfortably sing it in, adjust the tempo to your needs, and even remove the lead vocal and sing following the lyrics displayed on the screen. You'll be able to perform almost any song. Incredible power. Chaos. Chaos is an exciting new interactive feature in your PA700. It's a unique Korg technology, allowing for live generation of MIDI events and simultaneous control of multiple parameters via a control surface. In the PA700, you use the touch view screen as the Chaos pad control surface to transform the music flow and do creative and interactive mixing. For example, you can use it to switch between drum kit and bass sets, or even control the density of a style in style play mode, creating an evolving and continuously changing arrangement. You can use Chaos to interact and improvise by reshaping rhythm, pitch, and more. The possibilities are wide-ranging. You can simply make the instrumentation of the style be less busy to allow a solo player to be heard more clearly, or do extreme DJ-style note crunching effects for more radical changes. Chaos is available in Style Play mode and Song Play mode. Let's try it first in Style Play mode. Factory tab. From the Dance category, page 3, Ethno House. And go to the Chaos page by touching the Chaos tab. There are several Chaos presets supplied. You choose one of the presets by using the pop-up menu in the top left corner of this page. 8 of your favorite presets can be saved into these favorites locations. We'll look at saving to favorites in a moment. For now, let's use the current favorites to understand how the Chaos pad works. This first one, Arpeggio 4-beat, arpeggiates the notes you play on the keyboard, even if the style is stopped, like this. With this Chaos preset, touching from left to right, or the X-axis as it is called, selects different arpeggiator shapes. You can see that information displayed here. Each of these cells correspond to a different value, also called a step. Going from bottom to top, called the Y-axis, controls the ARP expression. You'll notice that there are no blocks from bottom to top, so the changes are smooth. Depending on the selected preset, the grid of the Chaos pad will change. Using the Chaos pad with a style makes your interaction with the music and your audience a whole new experience. Now let's look at Song Play mode. Select a standard MIDI file and go to the Chaos page. There are 8 favorites here as well. You can have separate favorites for Style Play mode and Song Play mode. This time we'll choose a preset from the pop-up menu here. Select Repeater 1 and Filter. Let's assign it to one of the favorite presets by touching Assign, then touching the location we want it assigned to, for example, Location 1. Select Tripletizer and Envelope. Sometimes there are lighter gray cells displayed, which is the default value for the corresponding parameter. For example, the tripletizer effect from left to right. You'll notice that when you release your finger, the values return to the default values. However, if you press Shift, then touch the display, that freezes the position. You can see the F here on the display. It keeps that position until you touch the screen again. Never before has such interactive control been available in an Arranger keyboard. You and your audience are going to love this new Korg innovation. Effects. The PA700 has an exceptional integrated effects system. There are 4 main sections: the individual EQs, the insert and master effects, the microphone and guitar effects, and the global EQ and limiter section. Let's look at how effects are incorporated using style play mode as an example. The other modes work the same way with a few exceptions that will be explained later in this chapter. I'm using Easy Funk from the Funk and Blues category. Press Menu, Mixer Tuning, EQ Gain. The EQ can be adjusted for every sound in the style as well as every sound in the keyboard set. Pressing Track Select toggles between displaying the two. Display the keyboard set. I'll adjust the high, mid, and low frequencies of upper 1. Boosting frequencies can sometimes distort the sound. On this EQ control page, the input trim can be lowered to compensate for that. You can also bypass the EQ settings of each sound here. The Insert and Master Effects section of the PA700 is divided into 2 parts, Effects Group A and Effects Group B. In Style Play mode, Effects Group A is used for the sounds of the accompaniment tracks, and Effects Group B is used for the sounds of the keyboard set. An effects group has 2 different types of effects, insert effects and master effects. Effects Group A and B each have 2 master effects. Effects Group A has 2 insert effects, and Effects Group B has 1. When a sound is routed into an insert effect, the audio signal passes directly through the effect. Think of it like a guitar effect pedal you plug in and out of. I already have a chord sequence ready to go. Go to the Insert Effects tab and use Track Select to display the accompaniment tracks. The guitar on the accompaniment 1 track is using one of the 2 available insert effects, and the electric piano on accompaniment track 3 is using the other. Let's change the electric piano insert effect. Holding down Shift and touching the track will solo the track. Touch here, and the effect is now available for detailed editing. There are over 140 effect types, so there are many to choose from. I'm going to change the phaser effect to a flanger effect. As you can see, you can have an insert effect on 2 separate tracks. Or instead, you can put 2 insert effects on 1 track. I'll disable the insert effect on the electric piano track, then add a second insert effect to the guitar on accompaniment track 1. Press Exit. Master effects work differently. They are mixed in parallel with the dry signal coming from a track. You can apply as much or as little of a master effect you want for each track using the send parameters. So you can have a little bit of reverb on a piano, none on a bass guitar, and a lot on a string pad. Menu, Master Effects. This is Master Effects B for the keyboard set, and this is Master Effects A for the accompaniment tracks. In this style, Master Effect 1 is a reverb effect, and Master Effect 2 is a chorus effect. Now let's adjust the amount of Master Effect. Menu, Mixer Tuning, Effect Send. The more I bring up the Master 1 send of this track, the more reverb it has. Master 2 send adds more chorus effect. Drum and percussion kits are handled differently. Touch DF at the top of the drum track. DF stands for drum families. It flashes, and I now have separate Master Effect sends for each family. Although we've been using style play to explain the insert and master effects, the other modes logically work the same way. In song play, the sequence tracks use effects group A and the keyboard set uses effects group B. In sequencer mode, each track has access to either effects group A or B. In sound mode, only effects group B is available. In style play and song play, it's also possible to plug in a mic or a guitar and apply effects to the signal. Let's try it with a microphone first in style play. Use the audio in left input to connect a microphone. It's an unbalanced 1/4 inch input. You'll need an adapter to connect a microphone with an XLR connector. Go to Global, Audio Video, Audio In tab. Make sure the input routing is set to mic. Now Menu, Mic Setup, EQ Dynamics tab. Reach back and use the gain knob next to the left audio input to adjust the input gain. The meter should remain in the green most of the time and into the orange at signal peaks. If it's reaching into the red, the gain is too high. This page also gives you access to an EQ, a compressor, and gate settings for the mic. Exit, Volume tab. Use the track select to display the keyboard set and mic input settings. The microphone input can be muted and unmuted by touching here. You can use the usual ways to adjust the level here, or use assignable knob 1. These two knobs can be set to control a variety of things. This is assigned in global mode. But from the factory, knob 1 is set to control the input volume.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, check. Check 1, 2, yeah.
Start the style and adjust your mic volume to the style.
Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Press stop. Go to the mic tab. As you can hear, there are already effects on your voice.
Hey, yeah.
You can have two effects at the same time, for example, delay and reverb. The amount of effect can be adjusted using assignable knob 2.
Hey, hey, hey,
You can choose a different effect setting by touching here to open a list of voice presets. As with selecting sounds or styles, there are 8 to choose from on the screen at one time, and more are available by touching these tabs on the left and right. Press Exit. Each of the effects can be muted here. And here you see a talkover button. Touching it mutes the vocal effects and the volume of the music is lowered so you can speak to the audience, like this.
Good evening.
Go to the Volume tab and mute the microphone by touching here. Now let's plug in a guitar. Global, Menu, Audio Video, Audio In tab. Change the input routing to guitar. We could go to the same global mode page we used to adjust the input of the microphone, but this time press Exit, go to the Volume tab of Style Play, and adjust the input gain from here. This indicator should remain green most of the time, with orange appearing at signal peaks. If it's turning red, the gain is too high. And now unmute the guitar and adjust the level to the track. You'll notice that the mic tab now says guitar. Go there. As you can hear, there are already effects on your guitar using preset Clean AC30 SC. The SC in the name means the preset is best used with single coil pickups. An HB in the name would mean it's best with humbucker pickups. You can have 3 effects in the chain, in this case amp simulator, delay, and reverb. You can choose a different effect preset by touching here. The presets are organized in clean presets, overdrive presets, even effect presets to use when you plug in a bass guitar. If you want, a MIDI pedal board can be used to select the presets and turn individual effects in the chain on and off. The effect presets can be edited here and saved to the user bank. Details are in the PDF manual. Go to the Volume tab and mute the guitar. And finally, the global limiter and EQ. It's positioned at the end of the signal chain, just before the audio outputs of the PA700. Global, Menu, Limiter Master EQ, Limiter tab. The limiter allows you to make the PA700 as loud as possible while limiting the maximum volume using these settings. MP3s do not pass through the limiter because they usually have this processing done to the audio already. This tab takes you to the Master EQ. It features 4 fully programmable bands with fully adjustable gain, frequency, and Q parameters to customize the low, mid, and high frequencies before the left and right outputs. All audio, including MP3s, pass through this EQ. Both the limiter and the EQ allow you to save presets and select them from here. Songbook. In this chapter, I'll give a brief overview of Songbook, including some of the great new features added to the PA700. For more detailed information, there's an extensive video on Korg.com explaining how to use Songbook, as well as how to use the free Songbook editor for PC, also available from Korg.com. We recommend that you watch this video to see the full capabilities of Songbook. Songbook is an extremely powerful feature of your PA700. It's a programmable musical database. Press Songbook. Basically, you have a list of song titles called song entries. When you select a song entry, it automatically brings up your choice of accompaniment, style, standard MIDI file, or MP3, and all the settings for you to perform that song. The columns are currently displaying name, artist, and genre. This can be changed in Songbook preferences. Okay, I'm going to scroll down and select the song title A Whiter Shade. The song title automatically takes me to Style Play mode. The appropriate style has been called up to perform that song with the best choice of intro and variation. Play a chord, press Start. As well, 4 suitable keyboard sets, tempo, etc. are also called up. Let's create our own song entry using a style. Press Exit to go to the main Style Play Mode page, and select a style. We can set the style up exactly how we want it to appear later. For example, let's change the tempo a bit. Now go back to Songbook and go to the Right tab. This is automatically selected to include the 4 keyboard sets already saved with the style. The Tags page is where you can input information like the genre of the song, the artist, even a reminder of the key of the song. Controls and Lyrics has more parameters that can be saved with the song entry, for example, the status of the synchro start. Once you have everything set, touch Right. Touch the T and we'll name the new entry My Song. Touch OK to confirm the text, then OK, then Yes to write it to the songbook. Go to the book page, and there's our song title. We changed the tempo of the style before saving it to Songbook, but you can make changes to the style in several different ways to suit a wide variety of songs. For example, choosing different sounds for the style tracks, make edits to any of the sounds used in the style, edit the effects, and much more. And it can all be done without affecting the original style or having to duplicate it in order to make the necessary changes. You can edit and add things to your Songbook entry later on as well. For example, let's add a different keyboard set, record a chord sequence, and set up the style element configuration for the entry we just made. Press Exit. Choose a keyboard set. Let's record a chord sequence. Let's have it come up with Variation 3 and Intro 3 as the introduction. Always select the variation you want first, then the intro you want. Go to Songbook, Write Page, touch here to save the new keyboard set we chose to location 1. Now write it. Go to the book page, choose a different song entry, then back to the song entry we just created. It's set as we want it, Intro 3 to Variation 3. Keyboard set 1 is just as we want it. Even the chord sequence is saved. In fact, you can have a different chord sequence saved to each song entry. You can even save the guitar or microphone effect preset with a song entry. Very useful. There's a fast way to add song entries to the songbook. Press Exit. You select the style, standard MIDI file, karaoke MIDI file, or MP3 you want to add. I'll add this MIDI file from my USB. Hold down the Songbook button until this right screen appears. It's already brought in the name of the MIDI file, but you can change it if you want. Touch OK, then Yes to confirm. Go back to Songbook, and there it is. Typically, performers prepare set lists for a show, a list of songs they will play. You can prepare several custom set lists using Songbook. Go to the Set List page. Here you can select which list you want. As you can see, Korg has included a few already. Set lists can be used in Tile View or in List View. This is Tile View. Songs are shown as pages of tiles. From the Page menu, select Preferences and choose List View. In List View, all songs are shown in a plain list. Set it back to Tile View. By the way, pressing this Set List button gives you direct access to the songs in the set list using these lit buttons. Turn it off for now. Open the Page menu and check Enable Set List Edit. The edit commands are now available. You can either edit an existing list or create a new one. Let's create a new one by touching New List. Go to the book page, touch a song entry, touch Add to List. Go to the Set List page, and there's the song. Let's go back to the book page and add another 2 songs. Back to Set List. We can move the songs around by selecting a title and touching the Move Up and Down arrows. Once the list is ready, touch Right, name it, save the list. Now open the Page menu and uncheck Enable Set List Edit. Press Exit to leave Songbook. Recording. There are 4 basic ways to record a song on the PA700. Backing sequence, sometimes called quick record, step backing sequence, traditional 16-track MIDI recording, and MP3 audio recording. With the backing sequence method, it's not necessary to record each track separately as you do with traditional sequencing. Any style can be used. And as you play, each of the accompaniment tracks is recorded on a separate sequencer track. For example, the bass on track 9, the drums on track 10, the guitar on track 12, etc. Make sure you're in Style Play mode. I'm going to use a style from the Pop category, As Groove. Go to Sequencer mode and press the Record button near the lower left of the screen. Select Backing Sequence Quick Record and touch OK. Let's choose Variation 1 and use Intro 3 to start the song off. Set the resolution to 16th notes. This will correct the input of your chords, style elements, etc., not the music, to the nearest 16th note. This isn't necessary, but can help to make the chord changes and style element selections be more in time with the song. Pressing the Style Start-Stop button will simultaneously start the style and start the sequencer recording after a 1-measure pre-count. Trigger the initial chord first. Now we're ready. After I press start, I'll play a few chords, select a different variation, even record a bit of chaos, then I'll select an ending. Press stop on the song player. It will automatically bring the song back to measure 1. Press play. All the tracks of the style have been recorded following the chords, variations, endings, the chaos modifications, etc. This is already impressive. The song you just created would have taken hours and hours to make with a traditional sequencer. But imagine you made a mistake or changed your mind about the chord progression or what variation should have been used. With a traditional sequencer, you have to edit every single track, even if you simply wanted an E minor instead of a G major chord. This leads us to another way to record on the PA700, step backing sequence. With step backing sequence, you can enter in step by step what the chord progression is, what variation you want to have on what measure, etc. This allows you to record songs that may be more difficult than you have the time or patience for. It's also perfect for musicians who don't play a lot of keyboards, like guitarists, singers, etc. But the other advantage of step backing sequence is being able to go into a song you created with backing sequence and make changes quickly and easily. For example, let's say you want to change a chord in the song and also change the variation or fill. Press record, choose step backing sequence, and touch OK. You can step through the events by measure, by eighth note, or by each event. You can change a chord to something else by selecting the chord here and playing a new chord on the keyboard, or use the screen to change it. Let's move ahead and make some more changes. Touch Done, and then Yes. Press play to hear the changes. Now let's add a track using the traditional sequencer method. Press the record button and choose multi-track sequencer. The track select button is used to switch between tracks 1 through 8 and 9 through 16. Tracks 9 through 16 will have the recorded style track data. Display tracks 1 through 8. Anything played on the keyboard set will have been recorded on tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4, depending on whether you used upper 1, upper 2, etc. Track 7 will be empty, so touch here to arm the track to record. Touch the sound bank icon of track 7 and select the sound you want. Then exit. I'll set the resolution to high so the timing won't be corrected. Once you press play, there will be a 1 measure pre-count and then it will start recording. Press the record button to exit recording and press play. When the PA700 is turned off, the song you just created will be erased. If you leave from sequencer mode to another mode, for example style play, the song will be erased as well. But a warning does appear telling you this will delete the song. Touch No to cancel, and let's save the song to the USB flash drive. Open the page menu and select Save Song. The USB is probably still the selected device, so just touch Save. Touch the T and name your song. Touch OK to confirm the text, then OK, then Yes to save it. Your song has been saved as a standard MIDI file that can be played in song play mode or loaded into other sequencers. Go to song play mode. We've saved the song, so touch Yes in reply to the prompt. It's also possible to record your performance as an MP3. It will record any audio created by the PA700. Anything you play on the keyboard, the style, the standard MIDI file, even the microphone or guitar input, including all the effects. I'm going to record the song I just created to an MP3 by playing it in song play mode. First, I'll load my song. At the same time, I'm going to add a guitar part. Press and hold the MP3 record button until this screen appears. You can choose the audio quality here. The higher the quality, the larger the MP3 file will be. Here you can choose where the file will be temporarily stored until you decide where you want to save it. Leave it on disk. When you're ready, touch record. Touch Stop on the display. You can touch T to name the MP3. Touch Browse and select the USB drive. Touch OK and then touch Save. Mute the guitar. The MP3 you created can be played in song play mode or by any MP3 player. Plus, while playing the MP3 in song play mode, you can record it to another MP3 while adding additional parts. The PA700 is an incredible tool to create your own music. The styles inspire you, and then you have several ways to capture your inspiration. Global, Media, and Updates. Press Global, then Menu. Global is where you access parameters that affect the instrument as a whole, as we saw earlier when we calibrated the damper pedal and adjusted the master EQ. Let's look at some other examples. In the first chapter, we talked about the auto shutoff feature. General Controls, Clock and Power tab. It can be turned on and off here. Press Menu. As well, there are global parameters that affect the 4 main modes. Touch Mode Preferences. For example, in the Sounds chapter, we saw how the bass and lower sound play when the style is stopped. Here on this Style 2 tab is where that function, bass and lower backing, can be turned on or off. Any changes to global are automatically saved into memory. Press the Media button to the right of the Global button. Here you can access the internal memory to save and load your own data. It is also possible to connect to a computer using the USB device port on the back, allowing you to access the PA700 internal memory. For example, to drag and drop MP3 files between your computer and the PA700. Media also gives you access to whatever is connected to the USB host port on the back. For example, USB pen drives, hard drives, etc. As you can see, Media allows a variety of options to load, save, copy, and more. Let's save our PA700 data to see how the process is done. Go to the Save page, touch All, then touch Save To. Touch New Set. Touch the T and name your file. For example, My Backup. Touch OK to confirm the text, and touch OK. Here we can select what data we want to save. That's why it's called a set. It is a collection of different types of data. Leave the selection as it is and touch OK, then Yes to confirm. To load a file, go to the Load page, touch the file you want to load. You can touch Open and select individual data to load. We'll load everything, so touch Close, select the file again, and touch Load. Then Yes. Remember that there are several resources available from Korg.com, like more video tutorials, software, sounds, and many more styles, many of them free. By the way, even though a style may have been created for a previous PA series, when you load them in, they will automatically be converted to work in the PA700. If for some reason you want to go back to the factory preload, you can do a factory restore. Still in Media, go to the Utility tab, select Factory Restore, then touch Execute. Touching OK would erase any user styles, sounds, songbook entries, etc. and load in the factory data. For now, touch Cancel to stop the process. It's a good idea to check Korg.com occasionally for operating system updates to your PA700. Korg looks for ways to improve your instrument, including the addition of features requested by end users. The operating system version of your PA700 is displayed in the lower left of this utility page. To update your operating system, or OS as it is called, download the OS file from Korg.com. It will be named something like this. The V100 refers to the OS version number. Unzip the archive, then copy the file to a USB device like a flash drive. To be safe, be sure to back up any of your own data that's on the internal drive before installing a new OS. Usually there's no problem, but it's best to make a backup in case something does happen. Turn off the PA700, then insert the USB device containing the PKG file. Now hold down Intro 1 and turn on the PA700. Keep holding the Intro 1 button until System Update appears on the screen. Release the Intro 1 button. When you see this screen, do the touch panel calibration. The prompt asks you to select the PKG to install. Touch OK, select the USB drive, then touch the PKG file. Press Select. The PA700 verifies the PKG file, then this screen appears. Touch Update, and the update process begins. The PA700 will restart automatically. Do not turn off the PA700 during the update process. Wait until you see this message, then turn the PA700 off, then on, and the update is complete. Okay, that's it. We hope you found this video helpful, and remember that for more information, the PDF manuals cover every detail of this amazing instrument. Everyone at Korg wants to thank you for purchasing your PA700. You have so much musical enjoyment ahead of you. You made the right choice.